What's your take on empowering African people?
We cannot really talk of empowering African people at the moment when certain issues have not been addressed. There are certain important issues that we need to address. For instance, we need to address the issue whereby we have about 14 African countries who are still paying what is termed as colonial debt to the former colonial masters, France. France is still taking up to $518 billion a year as a colonial revenue, which is just too much money being exploited from Africa. And that should come to an end. That should be stopped. Really, it's ridiculous to come to think of it that 14 African countries are paying the French people every year $518 billion as a colonial revenue. What kind of revenue is that?
So-
What justifies that revenue?
So, are there any African leaders taking steps against such type of?
No, there can't be any like now who are saying no to that. Because there was examples were set before. Those who tried to speak against that, they were eliminated, they were killed. For instance, the former president of Burkina Faso, when he tried they will definitely eliminate you. So right now, as youths of the 21st century, as Pan-African youths, we are saying that we are coming together in one voice and speak in one voice to say, hey, our leaders, we are the future. But we are seeing a bleak future as long as we keep watching these people exploit Africa. So it has to come to an end. It's happening all over Africa. You come down to the southern part of Africa, where Cecil John Rhodes companies are still well established and well functional. They're still exploiting our resources from Africa. You know, when we talk of Cecil John Rhodes, his foundation, the way he started, the way he established the so-called companies or registered companies, it was based on looting. Our people were killed, displaced. And then he said he started his companies of mining in Africa, the Kimberley processing plant in South Africa, the gold that he was taking, and he established his foundation on that. It was all completely a raid, a loot from the African people. So which we see as youth of the 21st century, we're saying even Cecil John Rhodes Foundation, it should be frozen, it should be cut, it should be stopped. That money, and even his companies, they should be frozen, stopped from operating in Africa. All that money, we need it to be back to where it belongs. It's money that's being looted from us, and all that amass of wealth that they are taking from Africa really would go a long way in the development of Africa. Africa wouldn't be said to be one of the poorest continent when we are the richest continent, but it's just that the former colonial masters, they're still holding the African economy, they're holding it hostage. And it's ridiculous how they operate. Well, after they're saying they're giving us independence, it was just flag independence. It was never total independence. We look at Haiti, the way Haiti was given independence, they were made to pay a huge chunk of money. Without that, they were being denied their independence. So they had to, the Haiti government, the cabinet had to sit down and say, okay, guys, we surrender. Let's pay that chunk of money for us to be totally recognized as a sovereign country. So that money, we say, as youth of the 21st century, that should be reversed. That's too much money. If we are talking of total economic liberation of Africa, there are things like this that we have to consider first before we talk of empowering and developing the lives of black people and liberating the economies of Africa.
Okay.